I wish I could be excited for this video as much as I usually am, but Catch Cup today really frustrated me, got on my nerves. I usually don't let it get on my nerves. I'm like, it's a good opportunity for those people who haven't had a chance to climb. They can build Pokemon that others probably won't be putting in the effort to make. And if they really want to reach Legend, then this is a really great opportunity for those people to climb. I, on the other hand, have built hot garbage this season. Literally, Shadow Groudon, a Victory Bell, a Galvantula, which is pretty good, and then a Wugtrio. That's all I have to work with, and I thought I might get, maybe one win. But let's be honest, you put these Pokemon on a team, they are not going to do anything for you. Like, up first already in this first game, I lead Galvantula. I'm ABA weak to the Skeleturge, and I swap out into my Shadow Groudon. My opponent has an Ice type. Like, I was getting so hard countered on top of having an absolute garbage team. The only 4 Pokemon that I have built this season, each of them need their own 10 shields to survive anything, and I wanted to have fun. I was just telling myself, play it, have fun with it. If you lose, you lose. At least you're giving some experts and some veterans, because believe it or not, we got that low. You're giving them some free wins. A lot of people are going to be going try hard who really want to reach Legend. They'll be investing so much dust, You'll be going in with some fun teams. Maybe you'll make someone's day. Well, I can guarantee I made a bunch of days for a lot of people because I lost every single game I played, and I am going to share the suffering with you guys. Eventually, I did go and try the Little Cup version of the Catch Cup, and only then did I start getting some wins, but I had to invest some resources, unfortunately. It was very little resources, a little bit of dust, and 1 Elite Charge TM, unfortunately. But I ended up finding a really solid team in the Catch Cup. You guys aren't going to get to see it in this video. In this video, we're just messing around with a bunch of Pokemon and getting a bunch of losses because I don't like my ELO for some reason. But the team that I found, I might make a video on it, maybe tomorrow or after tomorrow, depending on if I have time. I want to get a little bit more footage with it and get a little bit more use out of it. It's a very anti-meta team. I'll tell you guys what it is now if you want to use it. It doesn't require any excels. It needs only a little bit of dust investment to build it. And it was working really well against the top meta Pokemon that I was seeing. So it was working well against the Smeargles. It was really good against Marill and Bronzor. So the team I was running was, I ended up building a Shadow Quagsire for Little Cup. And I built a Cottony, which is really cheap. And then I also built a Mandibuzz for Little Cup. And I let myself invest in the Mandibuzz because I've always wanted to make one for Little Cup. Unfortunately, if they keep up this whole Catch Cup thing, I might not be able to use it in future Little Cups, and that's just really disheartening. Oh, by the way, I was running Quagsire with Aquatail and Sludge Bomb. Sludge Bomb was so good for the Marills, and the Aquatail is what I used the Elite TM on, but you can run it with Mud Bomb. It will work as well. I just wanted the Aquatail because it gets to it a lot faster. But that's enough on a team that actually works. Let's get back into the dumb stuff because I'm sure that's what you guys came here for. So, Wugtrio, Groudon, were they good for anything? No, absolutely not. They were useless. So I had to take them off the team. I replaced them with Victory Bell, and I have a Stunfisk, a Unova Stunfisk, that I caught in the wild, already powered up, ready to go, and the IVs on it were really good, so I decided to use it, but your girl's a little bit cheap. I didn't want to put a second move on it, and I end up paying for it here because if I had a second move on that Stunfisk, I would have had a decent chance up against his Clodsire, because if I had that Mud Bomb, I'd have something to hit back with. But I don't. I have a Unova Stunfisk with Thundershock and Discharge. No Mud Bomb. I'm not even going to be able to take this Mandibuzz out because it's very bulky. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's what I get for not wanting to invest anything, but I was trying to make what I had work. Unova Stunfisk with one move only? Not a great idea. The Victory Bell was just not doing enough for my team. It was too squishy and it doesn't get to its moves fast enough. The Galvantula, it was probably the best performing Pokemon. But yeah, we're going to be up against this Clodsire. My opponent still has a shield left as well. They really didn't have to shield anything in this match. And I just go ahead and top left. I wasn't going to be able to take that out. By the way, let me know what you guys are using in Catch Cup and if it's going any better for you. Hopefully a lot better than it is for me. Anyways, in the next game, it looks like we are finally going to have a good lead. We're going to be up against a Unova Stunfisk. And hopefully my opponent lets his Leaf Blade go because Unova Stunfisk is not great for my backline. Thankfully, they let it go. We take it out, but my opponent has a Fire type and I had to swap out. I didn't want them to farm my Victory Bell down, but I swap into Unova Stunfisk. My opponent has that dreaded Clodsire in the back. I can't do anything against it. And the Crocolore was just going to take my entire team out because I had a Victory Bell left and I had a Galvantula that was also going to be weak to a Fire type. So what can you do there? So at this point, I'm like, okay, what if I don't know what I was thinking because this team, again, very squishy. I put Galvantula, Groudon, and Wugtrio on the same team. My opponent leads Snorlax. Okay, so it's bulky, but I mean, finally we're seeing something a little bit more off meta, I guess. I go for a lunge and I lower its attack. I have to take this Body Slam out on Galvantula because Galvantula, believe it or not, is actually the bulkiest Pokemon on my team. So at least I'm able to take the Body Slam and then I bring Groudon in. They let the Fire Punch go. It's enough to take them out. I'm going to go for another Fire Punch here up against the Hariyama. They shield it, but I'm not able to get to another one. So now I'm going to bring my Galvantula, which is very low. I'm going to shield it up because I really need to land a move on this Hariyama. I go for this Discharge, and of course, expecting my opponent to shield it, they use their final shield, and I just have to hope that Wugtrio is going to be able to Water Gun this thing down before it can get to 2 moves, but it looks like they have 2 close combats loaded. We're not going to be able to take it out, and my opponent was going to have a Shadow Toxicroak in the back. Really spicy team, at least, but I mean, there's a 0-5 for you. Not a single win. So at this point, I just had to come to terms with the fact that I probably wasn't gonna get any wins with the Wiggle monster. I've been trying to make Wugtrio work for so long now. I tried to make it work in Open Great League, in Remix, and now in Catch Cup, and believe it or not, I can't make this thing work. No matter what I do. I think I got like 1 or 2 wins with it. I got a win with it in Remix, where I didn't even have to use it. The other 2 Pokemon basically carried the team. But you guys know on this channel, there is no giving up. I do not accept excuses. I do not allow myself to give any excuses for any shortcomings in GBL. Even lag. We cannot blame lag. Although, I guess we can blame lag in a lot of situations. But I was determined to continue playing Catch Cup, just not the Great League one, because I don't want to build any Pokemon for that. I was willing to make a few investments for Little Catch Cup. I'm okay with building some Pokemon that I don't have yet for Little Cup. But I really need Niantic to bring back the not Catch Cup version of Little Cup, the open one, because I don't want to feel like I'm investing in these Pokemon for nothing. If it's always going to be a Catch Cup version, then I have a bunch of Pokemon that I've built for Little Cup that I'm just not going to be allowed to use. Okay, that's enough ranting. Let's just get back into the battles. This game definitely doesn't drive me nuts. This game is definitely fun. I enjoy this game. Not. Okay, so the team I end up using in Little Catch Cup is Quagsire lead. I was running it at first with Mud Bomb and Aqua Tail, terrible moveset, not much coverage. And Mandibuzz and Skarmory in the back. Shadow Skarmory I was running. Skarmory in this meta is not great. In some metas it is, but in this particular meta that we're having right now, not the best. My opponent leads Bronzor. They see the Quagsire on the lead. I have the Mud Bomb for it, which is really good. But they see the Quagsire on the lead, and they swap out into Volibee. I decided to stay in because I saw that the Aqua Tail was, first of all, it did a lot of damage to that Volibee. And I knew I was going to be able to take it out with 2 Aqua Tails. They let the second one go as well. And this is where I saw my first Marill, and I decided, if I had Sludge Bomb on this, I might have had a much better chance up against it. Now I'm just going to bring in Skarmory against the Marill, and I should be able to take 2 Aqua Tails perfectly fine. It does a lot of damage, but I know I can survive this next one. I just want to damage the Marill as much as possible and save my Mandibuzz for their Bronzor. My opponent's running that Confusion, and hopefully they're running a moveset of Payback and Psyshock and not any Steel-type moves, because then everything is going to be resisted. They are running that Payback. I'm going to be able to hit with these foul plays. I am over-farming for absolutely no reason. Again, I forgot to play. Apparently, I just threw everything I knew about Pokemon Go PvP out of my brain for this entire day that I was playing, and I don't know. Yeah, this gameplay is absolutely trash from my end, but oh well. I was having a rough day. At least we're able to take, or almost take, the Bronzor out. I think they swapped out into their Marill. It lives with very little HP. I went for that Aerial Ace. The Marill is super bulky, but I am gonna have a Sky Attack saved up on my Skarmory for the Bronzor. They have no shields left, so I was gonna be able to take that win. Alright, moving on to the next battle, we are going to see our first Smeargle, and I actually had no idea how fast this thing could get to Flying Press. This Pokemon is a little bit overpowered in this cup. They're gonna go for that first Flying Press. We're gonna go for an Aqua Tail and hope that it lands, but it looks like our opponent, they know how powerful the Smeargle is. They're gonna go ahead and double shield it. So I'm just hoping that if I save 2 shields for the Pokemon that I have in the back, that I might have a chance. My opponent also has a Marill. Like, how bulky do you need your team to be? I'm just gonna go for the Sky Attack and do as much damage as I can. I don't have a second move on this Skarmory. I could second move this. This is actually a Skarmory that I am planning on building for Great League. So I could put a second move on this and then power it up later. But I am gonna be able to take the Marill out, investing 1 shield. And I'm gonna save the second shield for the Flying Presses from the Smeargle, because that Smeargle is going to kick my butt. My opponent has a Bronzor in the back, so this is looking okay for me. I have to try to leave this matchup with as much energy as I can, but it looks like my opponent swaps into their Smeargle. Their Smeargle is also very bulky, so I don't think this foul play is going to be quite enough to take the Smeargle out. They live and they're able to get to a Flying Press, and that is going to hurt us. So now I don't know if I'm going to be able to take this Bronzor out. I need to reach 2 foul plays, and I do something really stupid here. I swap into my Skarmory. I should have just stayed in with my Mandibuzz. I have to be honest, I didn't know the move counts at this point. So after this game, I went and I checked on PvPoke. I needed to make sure that I knew all my move counts before I moved on, because I was a little bit unsure about a few of them. I just tried to guess there, and that was a really dumb play. Moving on to the next game, we are met with a Drifloon on the lead, and I don't know why I swapped immediately into my Skarmory rather than going for an Aqua Tail, because I can reach those Aqua Tails really quickly on my Quagsire. But I swap into Skarmory. My opponent has a Fuecoco in the back, and that absolutely destroys Skarmory, but at least I'm able to bring in Quagsire and go for an Aqua Tail and take that out, and then my opponent brings that Drifloon back in. I take their shield and then I swap into Mandibuzz. My opponent doesn't have any shields left, and they have a Lickitung in the back. This is actually really good for me because I am going to be resisting their fast move. The Body Slams are going to hurt, but I should be able to go for these foul plays up against this Lickitung, and I'm going to farm up a little bit of extra energy because I want to have a move ready to go for the Drifloon in the back. I'm able to farm the Lickitung down, which is the best case scenario, have a move ready, and we are going to be able to take this Drifloon out and take that win. Moving on to the next battle, we are going to be up against another Smeargle, and this one also has Flying Press. And at this point, I'm just thinking, where are people getting all these resources for it? it needs, I think you need to max it out, and you need a hundo, I believe. Yeah, you need a hundo, you need to max it out, you need 296 XL candies for this. How are you getting it? That's what I want to know. And how do so many people have it? Am I missing something? I know that I was told today that you have to snapshot a Registeel that has frustration, and that's your best bet to get one. But unfortunately, I TM'd frustration off of my Registeel, so I'm not going to be able to make any. I'll have to ask around my community and see if anyone has any. Maybe I can lucky trade one. But even then, if it's for a catch cup format, then you need to make sure it's been caught within the time frame that it would be eligible for that catch cup. Anyways, if you missed it, Smeargle kind of swept my entire team in this game. So yeah, we just end up backing out. We are at the last battle of the video, and as a sort of cherry on top, I enter the wrong catch cup. And I didn't even realize this, so I see Mantine on the lead. Okay, uh-oh, terrible lead. I swap into Skarmory and I'm like, whoa, that fast move did way too much damage from that Mantine, and those Incinerates are doing a crazy amount of damage. And at this point, I still didn't even realize I was in the wrong catch cup. I was still going. And then here, I was like, why aren't my Mudshots doing any damage? This is Little Cup. They're supposed to be doing a ton of damage to a fire type. And then I looked up and I saw the 1400 CP, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna back out now. That was kind of embarrassing. Legend rank leaderboard player here, by the way. Yeah, that entire video was a mess. I am so sorry. But anyways, that brings us to the end of our video. Thank you guys so much for watching and for putting up with my shenanigans. If you guys like my content, please consider subscribing. Maybe leave a like. It helps me out so much. Your girl's going a little bit crazy. It would really help out my current mental states. Nah, I'm fine. I really am. I'm just enjoying my time and sharing the funny hopefully I hope you guys found it funny, the battles, because I was definitely laughing, not crying. Anyways, thanks for watching again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.